god, am I really doing that? Is that how fucking fun that is or what? Oh my god.
Everybody get up.
Oh my god, it's so fun!
Hey guys, what's up? This is Ari in the Air. I'm a professional paraglide pilot and filmmaker. I make videos right here on YouTube about paragliding gear, tutorials, my best stories. If those are kind of things that you would be into, I recommend you subscribe and turn on notifications. I can guarantee you won't regret it. Today, we're talking about Misty Flips. Why it's the coolest trick ever, how to get ready to try it, and how to execute. Ready? Here we go. See ya.
I'm paragliding! See ya!
Okay, so a Misty Flip, if you're not familiar, it's basically a high energy swing to a 360. It's so much fun. It's also one of the most finesse, one of the prettiest, coolest tricks that you can do in acrobatics, and I think it's my favorite trick. So last year in June, I went to Lake Garda with the goal of learning Misty Flips, and I learned that and so much more. It's actually easier than I thought. So to begin, let's talk about some things that you need to do as far as your skills and the things that you want to think about in your gear, and then we'll talk about how to exactly execute the Misty Flip. So to begin, I would say that just like with all my acro videos, I would say that don't try this on your own. Don't take my word for it. You should get a professional who knows what they're doing, a life jacket, a safety boat, over water, all this stuff, right? Take it slow, be conservative. You got a long time to learn this stuff. It's not something you age out of. Someone who's ready to start trying Misty Flips has probably mastered helicopters. And maybe not mastered, but they've probably done like 50 or 80 and maybe upwards of 150 stalls, something like that, maybe 100 stalls, right? Another good thing to practice before you try your first Misty Flip is called a spin stop. So basically you're flying along and you can start to do a little porpoise, pull on the brakes, let the glider fly out in front of you. As you come under it, pull the brakes again, stab one side, let it come around 180, catch the other side, and then let it shoot at 180, okay? This is a spin stop. This gets you used to stabbing the brake and then controlling the rotation with the outside brake, okay? As far as the gear, I think that it's really important to sit your harness up as upright as you can possibly get it. And then before you enter the box, like before you try the trick, you really want to take a hold of the bottom of your harness and snug your ass back into the back corner of your harness as much as you can so that you're really, really deep into your harness and you're really upright. What this does is it allows you to have the smallest rotational inertia. So basically you put your feet below you, your body is upright. That way, if the glider twists one way quickly, or if you twist one way quickly, then you're not going to go into line twist as easily. It doesn't stop from everything, but it definitely goes a long ways. Also, this trick is possible on like high B gliders and ENCs, but they are certainly easier on a full acrobatic specific glider. Freestyle gliders will do them as well. They're a little bit spicier, a little bit hotter, a little higher aspect ratio usually, but the full acro gliders are the easiest gliders to learn acrobatics on. So if you're looking for a blackout plus, let me know. I've got those for you. Also, before I learn any trick, I basically have gone over it in my mind like at least 100 times, right? Being able to visualize the entirety of the trick really is the foundation for learning it. So if you're going to try a Misty Flip, you should be able to understand what it's going to feel like to make that setup turn and then the swing through and the timing, and you want to go over that over and over and over in your head. The other thing that I do is when I'm learning something, I'll literally say it out loud. the Misty Flip was no different. And when you watch my head cam footage, you can hear me say, right turn, swing through, brake, stab. Ugh, okay, it's like I go through it and I have these like verbal cues that my brain has learned the timing of the trick with how I say it, and it definitely helps to get your brain ready for the thing for your first try. If you just like go out there and try it, like the chance that you like do it well on your first try is really low. So to do a Misty Flip, basically what you want to do is you want to take energy in, but not too much energy. The right amount of energy that I found is a hard 90-degree turn. And when you do that hard 90, I usually will pull and weight shift really drastically until the glider will come nearly leading edge down to one side, and I'm going to swing clean under it. Okay? When you're swinging under, you want to be neutral weight shifted and patient. Because if you pull too early, if you pull at the bottom, that's like a Mac twist, and that's not what you're trying to do. The timing with the Misty Flip is hard turn, swing under. When you're coming up here, you actually want to stab the brake just before your highest point. And what that will do is that will give the glider slack to actually do the rotation before you come back under it. So I'll say to myself, okay, right turn, and I'll make a big hard right turn, and then swing under, and I'll say, okay, patience. And then as I come up, I wait until I'm about at 45 in front of my glider. That's when I'll pull both of the brakes. Pulling both of the brakes really brings you up high, and it also slows down the outside wing so that when you stab the inside and let up on the outside, it's a really drastic change, and that's what creates that momentum. It's the same thing as a ground heli. You really want to like break the outside so that when you let up, it really like shoots around. Okay? So right turn, swing under, brakes, stab. When I stab on the one side, I make sure to go all the way hands up on the other one. If you go stab here with a little bit of brake on the outside, the glider will not rotate fast enough, and you're going to end up under rotating and also coming onto the negative side. With my eyes, what I do, right when I pull the stab, I look up at the stalled wingtip, and essentially what you want to do is you want to stab hard enough that it takes all of the flying energy and it turns it into negative momentum as soon as possible. If you go too gently, it'll slow the glider down too much so that when you finally stall it and it starts going negative, then it's not going to have a bunch of energy going negative. So you really want to stall quickly, but you also want to return to tail slide immediately. If you stall the glider and stay with a really deep brake input, what happens is that your negative wingtip will tuck, which is really super inefficient, and you will under-rotate the maneuver. Okay? So when you stab, it's hands up on the outside, it's eyes on the negative wingtip, and when you stab, you do it hard and fast, but not so much that the tail tucks. You immediately, once it starts going negative, you immediately come up to a position of tail slide. And you'll know that because at this point in your career, you know what a negative tail slide position looks like. But when you hit that tail slide spot perfectly, the wing will start accelerating in negative, like rapidly, like you'll notice. And that's the hand up on the outside. You've hit the tail slide perfectly on this side, and then all you're doing is you're just waiting. Because at this point, remember, right turn, swing under, brakes, stab. There, once you stab down, come back into tail slide, this hand is up, and the glider is just rotating in front of you. Another thing you want to think about is your body is going to go with this. So as you do it, don't just think about doing it with the glider. It's almost something that you kind of get to do with your body as well. Like as you look at that negative wingtip, you kind of just like get to start doing the rotation with your body, with your harness as well, right? That's one of the funnest parts of the whole maneuver. So the Misty Flip, the ending of the Misty Flip, the point is to come out on the same heading that you went in, right? So it's right turn, swing under, Misty Flip comes all the way back to 360 and shoots directly in front, okay? So That takes some spatial awareness, and you've got to pay attention to where your heading is when you're actually starting, so that as you begin to come back to that, you can initiate the exit. The exit for a Misty Flip is the negative side hand comes up, the outside hand that's positive gets a slight brake check. It is the same exit as a helicopter for a forward exit, essentially. So the side that's going negative, you let up on the brake so it wants to go positive. The side that's already going positive and going fast, you slow it down so that the other side can catch up with it, right? If you stay in tail slide too long, what will happen is you'll come out under the glider and that side will still be negative, and you can then pull outside brake and come into a tail slide. That's actually how I did my first few, because I was nervous about letting it shoot on my first couple. So I just did Misty Flip to tail slide, and it's super benign. I'd actually recommend you trying a couple like that. But the point is to have it come out forward. So when the time is right, that's when you are basically going opposite with the brakes, hands up on one side, brake on the other side, weight shifting the positive side, and it comes out right in front of you. It's really super easy. It's so much fun. What else would I tell you about the Misty Flip? I guess as a little bonus, to take Misty Flip to heli is really not that difficult. The precursor to that is you want to practice your direct entry helicopters, meaning that you're flying along, straight flight, stab a brake, check the outside. When you come under it, then you let the outside shoot and you keep the inside at tail slide and you're in a helicopter. It's the same exact thing. So Misty Flip, right turn, swing under, brakes, stab, tail slide on one side, hands up on the other. As you come under the glider, you just have to brake check the positive side, and then when you arrive under the glider, you go hands up on that side, keeping the negative side at tail slide the whole time. It doesn't change. It's swing under, brake, stab, tail slide on one side. As you come under, it's just a brake check on the outside, and then you let it fly, and boom, you're right into helicopter. And that connection is just, it's so much fun. That's the epitome of acro. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I answer them all. Don't forget, I sell gear. If you want acrobatics gear, harnesses, gliders, advice on what you think you should get or where you are in your progression, feel free to email me any questions you have. That's airyintheair@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Right into heli. Just right into heli.
Oh my God, Misty to heli!